These people are involved, most of our children missing. They are involved with some dirty business you hear online. You don't know who it started, you don't know who is involved. There is a ring internationally. Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Thank you so much for your show of love. Thank you so much for all that you do for this community to keep growing. Hope you're well in all your ways, Your Majesties, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Thank you to all our channel members, to all our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my subscribers, for always tuning in, for giving our videos thumbs up, for leaving your comments, both the positive and the negative one, and for all that you do. All right, today, I'd ask you some hours ago if I should talk about this whole case of a young musician, a 27 years old musician who was brutally taken out, and a lot of you were like, why not we talk about it now? This case is a case that when you look into it critically, it goes beyond just the music industry. It involves the government. And see, we are not looking at it from this angle, and this is where something is wrong. Because the more we keep thinking it's just the thing of the young guys of these days because of the way they live their life, and then we feel it's nothing to talk about, the more our children, all right, the more our brothers and sisters, the more those we know will be taken out, and there will be nothing done about it. But the joy I have is that the youth, the Nigerian youth, are beginning to see beyond what is there, and they are beginning to ask for justice. All right, this young guy is a 27-year-old. I'm going to leave his full name there. Do you know, I never knew him. I don't want this video to be too long, but if at all it is, please pardon, because there are a lot of evidences, there are a lot of things behind this case that, hey, like I said, it's involving those at the top. All right. Now, I never knew anything about him until after he passed on. Because, of course, he was with this guy. They called him Marley. And what's his name? Naira Marley. All right. I'm going to be leaving their picture. There may be some video. This very guy right now living the plane. And then those are his boys behind him. And he was in his record label before, and one thing led to another. A lot is involved there, because with what is going around the street, some are saying this, you won't get this on the media because they will tell you it's just rumors. All right, some persons are saying that there were things this guy saw, and he told himself that he don't think he can continue anymore, and that's what led to him splitting, like him leaving Marian record. Prior to him leaving that record, he was one of the closest of the owner of that record label, who is Naira Marley. He was the closest. Like, this guy took him, like, he have the voice, all right? When you listen to him sing, he have the voice, he have the lyrics. Like, it's not difficult for him to just start singing. You understand me? So he was like a treasure for this very guy called Naira Marley. Now, as it is, there is another person who is involved, who is always seen with Naira Marley, and this person is like, he is the tie between the music industry and the government, and he has been seen with Jagaban, and he's been perceived as one of the thugs that Jagaban has. This very record label, not just this record label, you know, musicians, they are always involved in drugs, not just the Marlian record label, but these guys decide to take their own further, because they always show it, you see it. So it's like they are a group that help the government transport. You understand? All right, they are practically involved, and like I said, that very man is the link between them and whatever they do. Through his music, after he left a Marian record, they never allowed him to have peace. This is a guy who is married. He's 27-year-old. He's married with, he have a little, the wife just put to bed some months ago. And okay, let's say he died, and they decided to bury him as soon as possible. This is where there are question marks. These people are involved, most of our children missing. They are involved with some dirty business you hear online. You don't know who it started. You don't know who is involved. There is a ring internationally that involved our leaders in Al-Kabulan doing these dirty things. And Jagaban had, in many occasions, people had come out to openly call him a drug lord, that he's involved with little children. And again, this is very record label is being accused of these homosexual practices. They are accused of a lot of things. And it is said that after this guy went to a beach, the bar beach, the Lagos beach, he came back and told him, Sakai, because there are things he have seen. In his music, he said it. He have seen a lot of things. And, you know, they are asking him to keep quiet. He shouldn't say anything. These are the lyrics. These are the words of his. And you begin to ask yourself, this guy knows more than he should. And they started asking him to take an oath. Because when you reach a stage, of course, he need an oath to keep quiet. Because when he leaks it, he's going to get a point. And they keep forcing him. He said he's not going to take the oath. There was a clip that they forced him. They brought something in the hospital. Prior to that time, they say he was sick. They took him to the hospital. NDLEA came. And mind you, this very guy, whom a lot of persons are saying is a drug pusher, all right? This very guy, the owner of the record label, the NDLEA made him the ambassador just some weeks ago. It's not up to a month. So there's a lot of question mark, Your Majesties, on the government. And I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot, Your Majesties. It's practically like if you sit down, look at this thing, people don't just want to say, because of course, who wants to be involved in these cases like this? But the hands are pointing to positions that will leave you wondering. And it's not just a Mohbad alone. There are a lot that have gone, a lot of children, young boys. They target young boys on the streets. And they take advantage of the poverty of their parents. And they pick these boys and they give, of course, boys that have no other option. They can do anything to be rich. They can do anything to have money. These are the kind of boys that they pick. And this is the unfortunate story of Mohbad.
At this point and at this junction of this story, it's hard not to believe that this boy was murdered. Mohbad filed a petition to the Lagos state government that his life was being threatened by one Sammy Larry, and no one did anything. When I saw this, I was stunned. We know very well that Mohbad has expressed that his life has been threatened multiple times. He did so in 2022, calling out on Naira Marley and his gang that they were after his life. There was also a leaked text message and a leaked chat between him and his girlfriend, his current wife, where he also was accusing her of the same thing, that, if anything happens to him, she should be held responsible. So it's a common thing with him, clearly, to make these claims that people are after his life or people should be held responsible if anything should happen to him. However, when it comes to this particular one, I think this is very serious. I feel like this is the one that we should be looking out to. This is where the police needs to come in and investigate this man's death. Because unlike the rest, this petition was filed just 3 months ago in June of 2023. And there's a video circulating to back it up. A video that shows where the so-called Sammy Larry came to attack Mohbad at a video shoot, destroying properties and even succeeding in injuring him. I'm going to guess it was after that attack that Mohbad filed this petition. Mohbad even stated in the petition that the Larry guy said that when next he sees him, he's going to kill him. This is serious, and nobody did anything. And even now that he's dead, nobody is still looking into that line of possibility that this boy was murdered. Let's talk about the nurse that gave him the injection that killed him. Because the thing is, even if we want to point fingers at Naira Marley, Sammy Kelly, his wife, the point is, we know something for a fact, that he went to a hospital, got an injection, slumped, and died. If anybody really wanted to kill this boy, they would not do it directly. If they wanted to do it and get away with it, they will do it in a way that it may not come back to them. And it's looking like it's what they may have done. Is it possible that the nurse who gave him the injection that eventually took his life was sent by all the people or any of the people that we are suspecting did it? Even if it was his wife, even if it was Naira Marley, even if it was Sammy Kelly, even if it was anybody, they would have done it in a way And now we've seen the method in which he died. He went to the hospital, got an injection, slumped, and all of a sudden nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the nurse. Nobody's talking about the hospital that administered the injection that had him die instantly afterwards. Why is it looking like those people are being protected right now by someone? Who is the so-called nurse that injected him the substance that killed him? What was in that substance? Has it been checked? Has it been investigated? And let me shock you guys. This is Mohbad's father. He did an interview with Oji Baba, and in his interview, there was a part he said that he also had a feeling about the nurse that gave him the injection. That is, this man is also thinking in that direction. He did not know who the nurse is and how qualified the nurse was. He even mentioned that the nurse must have been an auxiliary nurse. And how come nobody's talking about that? Another thing that the man also said that will blow your mind is that he said that Mohbad was called by this nurse to come and take the injection. Initially, I thought Mohbad was the one who went to the hospital himself and they saw that he was sick and they decided to inject him. That might be the case.
I did not suspect anybody at all. So, according to what I heard from people, I didn't believe on that. Because the only thing that I even think of, maybe this auxiliary nurse that used to treat people, which is very bad. I didn't know the kind of the level that the woman is. I said they call him, they invite him to give him injection.
Mohbad was called on the phone by the medical people or the nurse or whoever that person was to come and take the injection. And that injection was what eventually killed him. Which meant if somebody really wanted to use that nurse to get to him, they would have prepared whatever they wanted to use to kill him. The nurse knew he was coming. If any of the suspects that we're all suspecting really wanted to kill this boy through that nurse, that is the way they would have done it. They would have negotiated with the nurse, met the nurse outside at the corner, given her the money that she needed to be giving, tell her to call him, give him the injection, and he goes. My only problem is, instead of running an autopsy, why was his family so quick to bury him? Even in a small casket that wasn't even fitting for him. That is my problem. Ordinarily, with all of these possibilities, I would guess the family will at least check it, investigate the nurse, to make sure that the nurse part is clean, to make sure that it's not from the hospital, to make sure it's not the fault of the nurse or it's not the substance that the nurse gave to him that killed him. But nobody did that. They quickly just buried him. An autopsy wasn't even done. An autopsy can't even be done right now. I don't know if it can, but I think it can. But I don't know if they would allow for his body to be exhumed. Because it seems like whoever idea it was for him to be buried so quickly might know something we don't. Because this guy's death is fishy. You can't tell me that this young man has been complaining that people are after his life for years and we did not listen. He even went as far as filing a petition against someone, and still we are here talking about he died from ear infection. This is so unfair. He has just been disregarded till his death. Even in his death, he's still being disregarded. There are people who lose their loved one even from natural causes, but they still put up a fight to be sure that it's natural causes. Yeah, we have people threatening his life. We have someone threatening to kill him the next time he sees him. We have a nurse who called him from wherever he was to come and take an injection because clearly he has an underlying issue. So he is frequently going to the hospital. So that could be something in his nature, because if he was a regular healthy boy that don't need all this constant medical attention, it would be odd for a nurse to call him to come and take an injection. But since he is frequent in the hospital, I can see why if a nurse should call him to come to the hospital to take an injection, he would get up and go, because clearly he might need it. So that looks like an opportunity for someone to pay or bribe a medical practitioner to inject him a substance that would kill him. And now all of a sudden, we are not talking about the nurse. Is it not strange that nobody's talking about the nurse? We don't know who the nurse is. We don't know what he was injected with. All of a sudden, we're talking about Naira Marley, Sammy, Kelly. They were talking about his wife. We're talking about his properties. And nobody's talking about the person that gave him the injection that killed him. We need answers, but it's unfortunate that now that he has been buried, we may not get the answers. And all these people that we are suspecting, all these people that he has mentioned after his life, they will not be looked into. They may not even get the benefit of the doubts, because this autopsy would have even vindicated them one way somehow, but now they may not even get it. Wow.
Apparently, it's obvious that the cabal that killed Mohbad goes way up to the Asorok. This is deeper than we thought. The most fingered person in this whole saga is a young man called Sam Larry. I'm sure you must have heard about the name. Sam Larry is a very close associate of Naira Marley. Naira Marley is the former boss of Mohbad. He signed him to his own record label. The young man is a glorified thug. He's an agbero. Now take a look at this picture. The man in this picture, the black man, is the man. He's a thug who was assigned to attack NSAS protesters during the 2020 NSAS protest. The young man you are looking at there was the one holding the cutlass in the other picture, chasing protesters, NSAS protesters back, trying to disperse them. Now, the young man is pictured having good time, merry time with this same Sam Larry. Okay? Now, he shows he's a thug. He's a well-connected thug in Lagos. He's a well-connected thug in Lagos. Now, take a look at this picture here. This is a picture of him visiting Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, with Naira Marley, the former boss of Mohbad. You think this is all I got? No, I got more. This is a picture of Sam Larry and Mr. Tinubu. Yeah. He was part of his entourage, Mecca entourage, when he went to Mecca for prayers. This young man, this thug, went with him. He went in his company. So it means this guy isn't only connected in Lagos. This guy is now connected with the number one in Asoro. So the cabal that is behind whatever happened to Mohbad went all the way up to Asoro. You can see he might have very personal relationship with Tinubu. Because I don't understand why you would want to go to Mecca and you will be going with thugs. I think that is all I've got. I've got one more for you. You have already seen that this young man is involved in attacking the protesters, NSAS protesters in the year 2020. Now I'm about to show you how this young man was a part of those that asked Igbos not to vote in Lagos. I will show you a video. Take a look. That's Sam Larry you're looking at. Asking Labour Party supporters not to come to vote, that they should stay back home. He's part of the people that suppress voters. He's part of the people that attack NSAS protests. And the Lagos state government and Bola Ahmed Tinubu are the people accused of being behind attacking the 2020 NSAS protesters and suppressing voters in Lagos during the 2023 election, February election. So now it is obvious that this guy has a connection with the government.